Hey everyone, welcome to both Mystery Twins Detective Agency and Jojo's World. I'm Liam S. Smith, and I'm both of your co-hosts.
Who introduces who first here? Who has the etiquette?
I figured I'd just let you guys fight it out.
Oh, okay, good.
I'm very professional.
We're so bad at this in terms of just fighting it out. I'll go first. Why not?
Everyone's
I'll go
very
first.
polite here.
Yeah, except me. I'm Nick Ballantyne, one of the co-hosts of Jojo's World, which is one of the two podcasts that we are combining into this.
And I'm Regan Lloyd, and I am one of the co-hosts of Mystery Twins Detective Agency, the other podcast we are combining in this.
Yeah, and in this we are combining Jojo's World, our Jojo's Bizarre Adventure recap and discussion podcast, and Mystery Twins Detective Agency, our mystery and detective television recap discussion podcast today to talk about a little show called Moriarty The Patriot, a show that loves to kill kids, apparently.
I love that when you told me we were going to be watching this, I thought it was going to be not an anime. I don't know why I thought that, but I thought, oh, it'll just be like a live action thing about Moriarty being a bad guy or something. And then I watched it and went, oh, Liam.
You know, that might have been a good idea.
Did someone just crack open a beer?
That's me. I'm drinking a Nowhere Man XPA Rhapsody.
Oh, that's new.
Where's it from?
Nowhere Man.
Wow. Amazing.
Yes, Moriarty the Patriot. But before we get to that, I have a little something to share.
Go on.
I found some content. If this were just a Mystery Twins Detective Agency episode, I might almost call this a Mystery of the Week, but it's not. It's just kind of a thing.
Okay.
Okay.
So you guys know the Zodiac Killer?
Not personally.
Where the fuck is this going?
Oh, you don't know US Senator Ted Cruz very well?
Oh my god.
Okay, so there was a bit of a news item a couple of weeks back that three folks, a mathematician, a programmer, and a code breaker got together to crack one of the Zodiac Killer messages.
What?
Will it alarm you to know I already knew about this hot cryptography news because math and me. But go on.
Yep.
Please proceed.
Okay. Well, I don't want to really delve into like the depths of the message because there's nothing really interesting in there and it's just kind of disturbing serial killer stuff. Mm-hmm. But something that caught my eye in this news article was just this paragraph, context about this particular note. Sent in 1969 after a schoolteacher and his wife cracked the Zodiac Killer's first cipher, the 340-character cipher was more complex and remain unsolved, even by a supercomputer designed to think like the killer.
Wow.
How does that even work? How do you make a supercomputer think like a killer?
I guess it's like how they get one of those script writing bots and train it on 10,000 hours of Doctor Who or whatever.
But what do you train it on?
That one Zodiac Killer note they have, I guess.
That they don't even know what it means yet?
I don't know how they would do that. Anyway, so here's my pitch.
Yes.
It's Hannibal, but instead of Mads Mikkelsen's Hannibal helping them catch serial killers, it's a computer they've trained to think like a serial killer.
I would watch the fuck out of that.
Is it like an old school version of what people think like a supercomputer in the far future would be? So it talks like, you know, Lost in Space, whatever that computer's name is.
Yeah,
Yes.
and it's got like cassette reel tape that it speaks through.
Oh,
Yeah.
Beautiful. Mwah.
And it's the size of a room.
And it's like one of those like boxy robots with little like Lego arms.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Of course.
And but also because it's a serial killer, the like meta plot of it is that like through the internet or whatever, it sends people information or manipulated data that induces them into being killers.
I like that. I was going to say because it's a serial killer, it just puts viruses on everyone's computers because that's what it thinks.
Murder is.
Yeah.
The first thing I do when I think about murdering someone is, how am I going to get a virus on their computer? That's the first step.
But
Heap
you're
of
not a
magnets
robot, is
via
what I'm
Amazon.
saying, as far as I'm aware.
Oh,
True.
Regan, that was your first mistake. Nick is nothing if not a robot.
It's true. It's so true.
Can you tell I've never listened to Jojo's World?
You what?
I know, I've been campaigning to get on the podcast since it started, but I have never listened to it.
Until now. Guys, my dad made a couple of references to my podcasts over Christmas dinner, like very specific jokes.
Oh my God, which ones?
One from Jojo's World, I outlined recently the Liam S. Smith system of liking things.
Oh, great. Okay.
Which, go listen to that episode if you want to hear it.
Honestly, I will.
It's an extremely
and then
good
also
test.
some cracks, I think, about how, like, we joke on MTDA about, like, how, this episode will get funny in about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
In contrast to Jojo's World, which I feel like I start swinging strong and then peter out after about half an hour.
I just keep coming in with, but Liam, what are you talking about? And you go, Nick, that's not how improv works.
Anyway, Dad, if you're hearing this, I don't know what you're getting out of it, but I'm very flattered. Shout out my dad.
And if Liam's dad is listening to this right now, what is this world? How small is this world? Listen to more Jojo's World. Spread it with your friends.
Oh, man. Seriously, perthed when my dad listened to my podcast.
Oh, my God. I would love if he recommended this hot new podcast he found, Jojo's World, and you were like, Dad, I got real bad news for you.
Jojo's World. Cool.
Yeah.
That was the content I brought.
Thank
Amazing.
you.
Serial killer computer.
No, I still think Netflix should at us for all their new mystery shows.
Oh, absolutely.
Wait, how many new mystery shows do you guys make up?
I mean, that's basically the show.
Yeah, we just kind of get bored and then go on a tangent of pitching a new mystery show. Or pitching ourselves as writers for Nancy Drew.
Yeah, you should absolutely just be like, Netflix, give us a Netflix show where we make up Netflix shows. I dare you.
Nick, you'd be delighted to know the other thing we spend a surprising amount of time talking about is Riverdale.
Ah, beautiful. I still haven't watched it, but mwah, fine choice.
You gotta.
Yeah.
You gotta.
You must. It's so good. And also the new season is out in like a month.
Ooh.
Oh, shit, really?
Yeah, and Nancy Drew.
And Cobra Kai is out on New Year's Day.
Oh, I still haven't watched season 1 of that.
No, neither of you have. No matter how much I tell you to on podcasts.
Literally every time I go into Liam's house, he will genuinely be like, Nick, I was thinking about Cobra Kai the other day and how you still haven't watched it. And I go, I know.
No, all of my co-workers have watched it as well. I'm very much an outlier.
Nick, Regan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before he was Sherlock's rival, Moriarty fought against the unfair class caste system in London by making sure corrupt nobility got their comeuppance. But even the most well-intentioned plans can spin out of control. Will Moriarty's dream of a more just and equal world turn him into a hero or a monster?
Why not both? Why can't we have both? What is the...
Oh, how ironic.
Maybe that's the thesis of the show.
Get you a man who can be both.
Moriarty and Sherlock. Ugh.
Guys, what did we think of this show? I did not realise that these 2 episodes were going to be prologue flashback episodes.
Yeah, I did a mystery envelope, but I was like, they did also just exactly show me what I've written down on the mystery envelope.
See, I also did one and got it wrong somehow, so I feel like...
Oh, I didn't do one because I felt like there was no mystery, so I don't know what you guys are even doing.
How did you not? No, there was clearly a mystery, Liam.
It was clearly a mystery.
Who is Moriarty? And I got it wrong. But, what is the show about? Let's just... It's a mystery for the ages. It's a mystery across the show,
I recounted this briefly on a previous episode of MTDA, but a quick context of what happens in the first episode.
Oh, I watched that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What did you think?
First episode?
I did.
No. Oh, no.
Well, because I thought you two had watched the first episode for a JoJo's episode.
God, no.
So
we don't have that kind of level of, professionalism to watch the first episode of an anime.
Yeah, we do. That's pretty much all we do.
So I was like, oh, well, I'd better, be professional and, know what I'm doing.
Get on our level that we are not at.
Yeah, I don't know why I thought Liam had a whole different level of professionalism for his other podcast.
Okay. I feel like you guys are starting to turn against me.
This was the whole plan, Liam.
It's your fault for getting us together.
Yeah.
Help my co-hosts have unionized against me.
Me and Regan start a new podcast, the Podcast Union Podcast.
Oh my God, that actually would be really fun.
Yeah, it's just literally discussions of union laws for the arts and entertainers. Ironically, the 2 possibly least qualified people in this call to discuss that about.
Definitely.
I don't know about that. Regan and I have basically the same job.
Do you? Oh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Do you not know about our timelines converging?
No, this is terrifying. Is this a mystery in of itself that has slowly
It
unraveled
kind of
over
is,
time?
actually. It's just like every time one of us gets a new job, like 6 months later, the other one will get the same job,
Okay.
but in different
pretty
countries.
cooked.
And it's very entertaining.
Huh, that's odd. Okay.
So, Regan, what did you think? Or, yeah, what happened in the first episode, in your opinion?
All right, so the first episode, we meet Moriarty and Lewis, who I thought was his butler.
Me too. I couldn't tell if he was meant to be his butler or his brother, who just or his butler who just looked
Butler.
just like him for no reason.
Brother. Nah, you can't portmanteau those two words. Yeah, okay, so we meet those two. Moriarty really loves Lewis's omelettes, but people elsewhere in the British Empire wouldn't think about omelettes because they've never had one before. And that's how we know that the person murdering all of these children has seen the children before the murder.
What? It's been a while since I watched the first episode, but I thought he just read about it in the newspaper or something.
Yeah, he reads about it in the newspaper, but then when he's like figuring out that it was someone who had like contact with all these boys before he murdered them, the like parable he weaves is about omelettes and how like sometimes he's like out on the field and he's like, oh, I wish I could have one of Lewis's omelettes right now. But like people in India wouldn't think that because they've never had one of Lewis's omelettes.
Right.
And I was like, what is happening?
I think he's bemoaning the shameful state of British cuisine.
Is he?
No, he's doing the opposite of that, in fact, because he's praising the omelettes.
But also, I wouldn't say omelettes are particularly British.
Then what are they, Regan? What are they?
I mean, I always think about omelettes as being a Japanese thing.
Huh.
Are they?
Oh, yeah, they do the omu rice.
They do
As
omu rice.
famously seen in Terrace House, Boys and Girls Next Door.
This has just become a podcast about omelettes now, hasn't it? I mean, just
We also met the other brother, whose name I don't know.
It's not Alan. Albert?
William?
So William is Moriarty, I think, but was also the name of the Joffrey kid in these episodes until he stole his identity. Is that right?
Yes, that is correct.
Right.
Okay. But then there's the older brother who, let's say his name is Albert until the subtitles reveal to me what it actually was.
Are you talking about Alfred?
Green eyes? Brown hair, green eyes?
The guy in blue coat the entire episode.
Yeah, blue coat.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alfred.
Okay.
Moriarty.
It was not at all clear to me in the first episode how he was related to them. I thought he was just like a guy they knew.
Yes, same. Oh, yeah, also in the first episode, I thought Lewis was Moriarty's John, if that makes sense.
What does that mean?
I have no idea what
like...
that means.
He was the Watson to Moriarty's Sherlock.
Oh, okay. Right. I thought you were driving at some weird sex work thing.
No!
So this is John. He's my John. Everyone in the room gives you a strange look. No, like my Watson. Oh.
Sorry, it's because we watched the BBC one the last episode and they just call him John in that because he's an adult man and he doesn't get referred to by his surname, but I did spend a lot of time yelling about the fact that they kept referring to a victim as...
Hey guys, future Liam here. At this point, Regan's audio cut out for 10 seconds or so before we realised it. Anyway, all you miss is that she is annoyed at all the people in the previous episode of Sherlock we watched, calling a man whose surname is like Westfield or something, Westy all the time. That's all you need. We'll get back to it. Oh yeah, Westy. We all love Westy.
Poor Westy.
I'm back, baby. Do you want me to clap?
Sure.
Nah, it's fine. You can deal with it.
Great.
Excellent. Gotta love it.
I would appreciate a clap if it's not too much effort.
Well, you'll see where the track stops. So if
Okay.
anything, you should clap.
Okay?
Well, that was a good clap.
Thanks. Okay, so my overall opinion of this show, having seen 3 episodes, are that it looks like they're setting up some interesting intrigue, and like it looks like in the opening he's going to assemble like a little gang of revolutionaries and fight Sherlock Holmes, but we haven't seen any of that yet, and that's kind of disappointing.
Yeah.
And we've just gotten a prologue of who he is-ish? Maybe?
Question
kind
mark?
of? Yeah. Just some random
Urchin,
murder, I
murder
guess.
urchin, or merchant.
Merchants. Love them.
Anything else to say overall, folks?
I was just confused why you picked this, because I thought it was going to be a not anime, but I've already said that.
Well, I picked it because we have an anime podcast, Nick, and Regan and I have a mystery podcast where we've just finished doing a quote-unquote month, more like 3, of Sherlock Holmes shows.
Ah, I see. That makes more sense. When I was watching it, I was just thinking, this is the most anime take on Moriarty I've ever seen.
When I was watching it, I was thinking, I should have picked, like, Detective Conan or Lupin the Third or something.
Oh no, we'll have to do more crossover episodes.
Oh no.
Oh.
This is a good vibe. This is working out as well as I had hoped.
But no,
Also,
I thought it was... Oh, you go.
Oh, I was going to say a contender for my highlight, but I decided that it feels shady to have this as my highlight of the episodes. But damn that theme song.
Oh, yeah, pretty good.
Oh, good music. Solid. Very anime.
good.
Also, much like the BBC Sherlock Moriarty, it ends with him shooting himself in the head.
Yeah.
What? Why does the BBC one... Okay, so the anime version, I perfectly understand. Oh, he shoots himself in the head at the end. Great. Sure. Symbolism. Whatever. BBC one. Why does he shoot himself in the head in the end of a BBC intro?
No, not in the intro, in the show.
Oh, I just thought it would be like an anime opening on a BBC show. And
That'd be so good.
That would be incredible.
Japan's cultural penetration is remarkable.
Moriarty the Patriot, Episode 2, The Scarlet Eyes, Part 1. Albert, the son of an earl, is deeply discontent with Britain's class system. When he decides to visit a charitable aid organisation, a brilliant young orphan there catches his attention. This strangely compelling boy seems wise beyond his years.
I just love that when you read it out to me, it does sound incredibly stupid. just comparing what I saw in the episode and what I'm hearing on that, what is it, the IMDb page,
Something
I'm assuming?
like that, wherever I could find a brief synopsis.
Yeah, just hearing it back, I'm going, man, that is a little bit dumb. I'm not going to lie. It's a little bit dumb, but goddamn, I'm into it.
Doesn't everything sound dumb when you distill it into one sentence?
Oh, I don't know. Jojo sounds about the same, honestly. like any episode of Jojo's that we have a one-sentence description for, we're like, that happened. Yep, fair enough.
We smash cut to a map of the world and we learn about colonialism.
We do.
Colonialism and classism. You see, Britain...
So there are 3 classes.
Yeah.
And only 3.
There's the lower class, the middle class, and the upper class. And the upper class makes up less than 3% of the population, but they have all the wealth and the power.
That damn 3%.
If only it was 3% these days, am I right?
Yeah, Occupy Wall Street.
3% is still bad, guys. 3% is still fucking shit. Like,
It's shit, but it's 3 times more than 1%.
yeah, but right. Well, yeah, okay, fair enough. But make it like 33% at worst, you know?
Yeah.
I don't think that's how it works, Nick.
Just give 33%.
As long as all the classes are of equal size.
There's no class disparity because it's all fair. Oh, hang on a second. Hang on. Oh, yikes.
Okay, big, beautiful train.
Going across
God,
the
I forgot about this
countryside.
framing device, yeah.
But, okay, can I just vent about the entire series of events of what happens here?
Yeah.
Of course.
And then its conclusion, just briefly.
Yeah.
So there's a guy on the train.
Just some rando.
Some random guy who's reading the newspaper and he's sort of looking at the headlines that are like, oh, England's still going well. And he's like, good, England's going
He's
well.
actually reading the sports and racing section, Nick.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, what horse am I going to bet on? And then some dude just opposite him, who I assume we already know is Moriarty.
Yeah, because we've watched episode 1.
Of course. And he just goes, oh, I can tell you who's going to win in the horse races. And he's like, what? How do you know that? And then we have 2 episodes where he doesn't really explain which horse to pick or how he knows.
But then at the end of
which
the
horse to pick.
end of the second episode, he does come back and say, and that's the end of the story I was telling you, which I did not realize we were doing.
And the guy's like, wow, that's a really good story. And I was sitting there going, that wasn't what he asked for on any level at all.
He didn't ask for anything, to be fair.
He literally was just like, wait, so you know which horse is going to win? It's like, oh, absolutely. How do you know this? And that's my life story.
And that's how I killed my adoptive parents.
Wow, man, that's pretty heavy. But which horse is going to win, though? Like, Just give him the answer. It's just a strange interaction.
It's a strange interaction, but also the way that they framed it is like he was telling the story that we've just watched the entire time. But there's no fucking way he was.
Because it's a highly illegal story.
It's a highly illegal story, and also then the guy's like, "Oh, it must have been so nice having such a loving set of parents and brothers whatever."
I think
and
we're
like,
to assume he told a very sanitized version of that story without all the criminal parts.
Everyone died in a fire except the three of them.
And now we're together and we look after each other, and that's how I know who'll win on the horses.
Did he even tell that story in the first place? Did he just say, "Oh, actually, I'm just really smart"?
No, he definitely talks about how you just need to, like, horse racing's very easy to, he obviously didn't have this accent, but he did in my head. Horse racing's very easy to figure out. If you look at all the available data, you can get it right 80% of the time.
Is this when we've translated into the flashback?
Yeah, I didn't understand a lot of this translating into flashbacks.
Well, he's a child
particularly because it
now.
would well, yeah, but it would kind of flash back and then flash back again and back again and back.
Got
and
a
I
lot
was
of
like, hang on.
asynchronous storytelling. Much like a show we watched on Jojo's World called Barkano.
A real
when
Barkano
no two
of a
scenes
flashback sequence.
happen in order.
Oh, God.
It's Italian
That's
for
my
noisy
nightmare.
ruckus.
I'm bad enough at following plots. I don't need this.
Yeah, a significant portion of our watch through of that series was us charting with red string who was where and how they knew everyone.
Oh, well,
Also-
that I can get behind.
Also, just figuring out, okay, is magic real? Is it real? We know something here is happening, but is magic real?
So it was a real Nancy Drew.
Yeah, pretty much. All these shows are basically the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm realizing that we should probably just do one podcast.
Okay, so three working class men are looking at the horse fixtures, and a well-dressed young Moriarty boy comes up and is like, "I've analysed all the data with my hard drive in my brain, like BBC's Sherlock, and I can tell you that the John Stryker horse is going to win. Good day."
I was really hoping this would be the rest of the episode.
Or just like him fixing the horse races or something.
No, literally him just discussing, data, let's talk about the math. And I'd be like, Liam, you son of a... You've done so well.
I think you would enjoy BBC's Sherlock, Nick.
Which one? As in, the modern Sherlock?
Yeah, the Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah, it's pretty alright. I do enjoy it. It's pretty
talks
good.
a lot about the data in his brain.
He does. And then all the cell phones switch off. And everyone's like, how does he do that? And no one knows.
I've only seen one episode.
Is magic real?
Exactly. Is magic real? That's the real question.
Okay, so some other stuff happens. Everyone's thanking him for his wise wisdom, and he gets a box of cookies.
Wait, they were cookies?
I don't know.
I thought they were dumplings.
I thought they were potatoes.
I don't think he's going to take a bunch of raw potatoes home to eat with his brother.
No, they were cooked potatoes.
They were like roasty potatoes because the steam came off when Albert. Fuck me.
Just call
when
him Alphonse to make it easier.
Yeah.
You can call him Al.
When Blue Coat broke one open, it was steamy.
Okay.
That's why I was like, dumpling.
Yeah, like a boiling hot potato.
Yeah, that you.
Which broke open with his bare hand.
Potato
I was going to
is
say
the
his
dumpling
raw
of
hands, and then I was
Ireland.
like, that's not what they're called.
No?
What?
Not
Sorry.
even remotely.
We were all being funny over each other.
Yeah, that's going to be fun to edit.
This has got a real JoJo's World energy already.
The potato is the dumpling of Ireland.
Wow. Whoa.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't know if I can even refute that, to be honest.
So Alfred comes and picks him up and is like, all the onlookers are like, that's Master Alfred and his younger brother, Master William. And they're all like, in their carriage ride, Alfred is like, oh fuck, Albert. Someone's using power tools nearby. That's quite annoying. Albert is like, everyone's so impressed with your knowledge palace, brother. Soon you shall rule the world, or whatever.
Soon you'll take over the working class and we'll rule over them. But little do we know, he's fighting for the working class.
Whoa.
I'll help you
I'm tapping my nose here.
sneak these delicious potatoes into the house for your sick brother, who is even now swabbing the deck.
Because the butler hates him.
Butler, this butler's a real dick.
Why haven't they fired him?
Because they're also dicks.
Because everyone in the upper class are assholes. We know this.
Oh, no, wait, hang on. I forgot about where in the timeline this bit is.
The distant past. 1866 to be precise.
I forgot it's in the living parents timeline.
Yeah, this horrible butler is like, why are you wearing Master William's good clothes, Mr. Unnamed Moriarty child?
Does he ever get a name?
I'm not sure.
No, I don't think he does.
Interesting. Very interesting. Not giving someone of such a low class a name. How interesting.
And
Well, no, because Lewis has a name.
Yeah, Lewis has a name, but this guy, he doesn't get a name.
No, this guy just takes William's name after they kill him.
Yeah, he never had a real name, though. Terrible. Terrible. He deserved a real name, but he never got one. All he got was some hand-me-down name from a rich... Actually, he got a lot of money out of it. This guy, this fucking asshole. He comes in here without a name, and then he gets a name.
All right, simmer down, son. He's just like Alexander Hamilton.
He didn't have a name, then he did have a name? Incredible.
That's history. That's Broadway, son.
Anyway,
okay.
This guy,
Alfred, he's getting sassed by his shitty little brother in the hallway, being like, I can't believe you go and watch those urchins at the school. They stink.
Isn't it called the busted house?
He keeps calling it the raggedy school, I think. And I was like, that's rude. And then there's a shot of the school and it's like the H&R Block raggedy school. And I was like, oh, that's actually what it's called?
It's anime.
Alfred is taking his carriage to the raggedy school and looking at the waving Union Jacks and thinking about how much he hates England. Regan, as a certified resident of the United Kingdom, how did that make you feel?
Both a resident and a citizen, baby.
Oh.
It's how I've been here for 5 years. Have you just never questioned it?
No, I figured you probably had a dual citizenship situation going on.
Yes. Or I secretly got married.
I think I'd know about that.
I didn't. Yeah, you would, because I'm really bad at secrets. As soon as I buy people presents, I'm like, do you want it now? I know Christmas is in a month, but do you want it now? How do I feel about what? England?
How do you feel about Alfred's disdain for England?
As someone living on Plague Island right now, yeah, I fucking get it.
When you see that Union Jack, do you just go, oh, no, not today. Not today.
Yeah. I feel like I've gotten much more patriotic towards Australia while I've lived here.
Oh, dear.
A dangerous
Patriotic's
pastime.
the wrong word. When I say patriotic, I mean like... I feel like it's my duty to educate people on democracy sausages and stuff.
Oh, yeah, the good stuff.
Fair, yeah.
Yeah, the good shit. But, like, that was my round in the work Christmas quiz, was just all Australian things.
How many Australian questions are in the work Christmas quiz?
In England.
There were 3, because everyone had to do 3 questions.
That's fair enough.
Okay, that's interesting.
I love that. Now we're just going to be grilling Regan over. So tell me more about this strange and unusual land you call England.
Oh, actually, do you know, this is a completely sidebar, but I feel like Liam at least will appreciate this. One of the rounds in the quiz was playing a piece of a classical song. Nope. A section of a classical piece. And then the question was, you had to guess which Andrew Lloyd Webber song he had completely ripped off from that piece.
Oh, wow.
It's so easy. They're like exact rip-offs. It's incredible.
Was one of them Skimbleshanks the Railway Cat?
No.
Was one of them from Starlight Express?
No.
Okay, one more guess.
Come on, Liam. Come on. Bring it home.
Was one of them that techno remix of the Tetris theme he released?
Excuse me?
Yeah, that's real.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. Andrew Lloyd Webber, calm down.
Okay, so there are these 2 orphans at the orphan school, and they're reading to all the other orphans.
Well, one of them's reading. The other one's just kind of sitting there being sick.
The other one's sick all the time. That's his characterization.
Literally, even after the operation, he's still sick somehow.
Yeah, that was weird.
I thought it just hadn't happened yet, maybe.
I mean, maybe, but also he does self-inflict harm on him later just to be like, this was my one identity piece. I need to just harm myself somehow. You're like, it's just like, oh my God, dude.
So they're orphans. They used to hang out at the British Library a lot, the museum, sorry, and then they went to the orphanage instead. And that's how they're so smart.
Well, no, I think the librarian was like, you need to fuck off out of the British Museum.
Oh, okay.
You
so she
cretin.
took them.
But I guess we're to understand that's why young unnamed Moriarty is such a genius, because he's been supping at the teat of colonial knowledge. Didn't like that expression.
He's got that upper world knowledge, but that lower world
grit. He's like a young Dio Brando in many ways from episode 1 of Jojo's Bizarre Adventure, in which he is taken to a wealthy estate and resolves to take its wealth for himself.
And he kind of does.
And he's got blonde hair and red eyes.
Shit, he does, doesn't he?
This is Jojo's world stuff,
rip-off?
Regan.
Is this a rip-off of JJBA? Is this just one massive rip-off?
Meanwhile,
Young Moriarty is dead. Okay, yep.
a bunch of rich toffs are all like really thirsty for this charitable duchess who's like, we're adopting an orphan. You should all adopt orphans too. And he's like, I'll adopt 2 orphans. That'll show them all. Right?
All right, I have a lot of questions about how this plays into the death of everyone.
Okay.
No, I don't. I phrased that wrong. Let me tell you my questions.
There was a very clear series of events regarding the death of everyone.
I understand how it played into. I understand how adopting the orphans played into the death of everyone. But what I don't. So okay, right. So this doesn't make sense to me.
Okay.
So they adopt Moriarty and Lewis. Mm-hmm. And Moriarty goes around town pretending he is William and telling florists to put vinegar in the water and whatever.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, oh, that's William. Mm-hmm. But William existed.
Yeah, but William's William's always talking about how he hates going and seeing poor people, so I guess they just don't know what he looks like.
But people knew what he looked like. He went to school and shit.
Did he?
He was about to go to Eton.
But he hadn't yet.
Yeah, but he was like 14. Surely he'd been to school.
Maybe he had
maybe he was homeschooled.
Tutored
Maybe.
by that evil butler.
Yeah.
Taught him everything he knew.
Maybe. But also, so the dad has been like fucking yelling at everyone about how he adopted 2 orphans. So did they just have to tell everyone that one of them died in the fire? Actually, that makes sense. You know what? I figured it out because that would be William's body. I figured it out, guys. Don't worry.
You solved it. Congratulations.
You did it.
I
did it. You threaded the needle.
Well, listeners, that's everything that happens in the rest of these episodes. So it's the Moriarty family that's going to adopt them. Lady Moriarty hates the idea, and that's why the butler hates them.
She's a bit like, why are you bringing dirt in this house? I don't like dirt. Mm-hmm. And the dude's like, we're going to bring the dirt in so I can get with this other lady who's not my wife.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Alfred keeps visiting the school where all the children gather around the soon-to-be Moriarty siblings to get radicalized.
To get radicalized.
Yeah. That is
yikes,
exactly what happens, though.
Yeah.
And basically he just keeps going and seeing them, and then he goes and sees young unnamed Moriarty too, and he's giving a bunch of burly men some calculations driven in the dust, and when they see Alfred approach, they kick all the calculations away, and it's like, oh, were you helping those men? Oh, no, it's fine. I gave them all the info I needed. And he overheard them talking about, like, digging a 40-foot trench. And then later he's overhearing some people talking about the news that old Mrs. Thompson's safe got broken into and they dug a 40-foot trench through the sewer.
How oddly accurate a measurement that could be misconstrued as 39. And yet, it was not. Such
But
precision engineering.
We have to assume there was a week time jump because Moriarty told them it would take him at least a week to fucking dig.
Yeah,
I'm fine with that.
There's so many skips in this episode alone that it's just like, wait, so he's not in the family. Okay, great. And then later he is, and it's like, okay, so he is in the family, and then he's not. It's like, what?
I know.
Things are relatively
There's a lot of mental
linear
gymnastics
for a while now, at least.
Yeah, it kind of calms down a bit, but it's
But then
still
it really
just
spins
like
right
so
up
many
again
skips.
towards the end. So he goes and sees all the kids hanging out in the chapel of the Raggedy School, where they're like, young Moriarty is giving his treatise on what nobles are like.
Ah, well, you see, a good nobleman is a good nobleman, but a bad nobleman is a dead nobleman.
Now, children, chant what we do to bad noblemen.
Kill the rich! Kill the rich!
Pretty much. And then, like, they all look pretty angry, apart from one girl who just looks really cheery about it all.
Yes.
she's going to be one of the good ones. You know, when you need someone to burn the rich down, she's your gal.
I think one
Well,
of these
because also
guys...
she's cute, so, no one's going to assume.
Exactly.
I think-
She's the good one.
I think one of these guys, an older version of him, might have been in the opening with a gun, but I'm not certain.
Ooh.
That would be
Well.
like a good amount of it'd be good.
hell
Yeah,
of a
they would have
callback.
laid their groundwork.
Thank you. Yes.
No worries.
Meanwhile, young Master William stabs a maid with a fork in the hand for spilling his tea because he's awful.
Just the worst.
Just literally no provocation whatsoever.
And then in response, Alfred goes and... what's his name?
Albert. His name is Albert.
Albert goes and lays on his bed and has an extensive series of flashbacks about bad rich people.
Yeah.
I just love that, okay, Albert, I understand where he's coming from, right? It's like we see bad people doing bad things and all the status and whatnot. William's just the worst. He's just there doing shit.
He's just Joffrey.
Right? But it's like, even Joffrey was like, I enjoy inflicting pain on others. But William's just like, why do you enjoy it? It's like, we won't have time for that. He's an asshole. Okay, just let it be that way.
Albert goes and has a conversation that we flash back to, we get fragments of it throughout the remainder of this episode and the next one, where he's talking to young Moriarty in the chapel, and they're all backlit by the setting sun, and he's laying out his whatchamacallit, his manifesto. And then we keep cutting to painted shots of The Great Red Dragon by William Blake, I think.
What?
What?
Hey,
That's-
there were shots of that painting that you know the name of?
Yeah, because it features in Red Dragon and Hannibal.
Oh, I see.
Famously, Francis Dolarhyde, aka the Great Red Dragon, eats the painting.
What?
Hang
Okay,
on, what
sure.
the fuck is this painting?
Yeah, what's it called?
Great
I'm
Red
Googling it right
Dragon.
now. The Great Red Dragon.
It's like a fucked up Vitruvian man.
It's the devil.
I don't like it.
Specifically, if you go to the Wikipedia page for the Great Red Dragons, I think the one we were seeing was the second one down.
Okay, I will go to the Wikipedia.
I'm enjoying his rippled everything. I like that. I like that chiseled feature set. That's a... Ooh.
And while we're seeing the shots of this and shots of the stained glass windows of the chapel, he's talking about how classism has twisted the hearts of the people, so that we need to stamp it out and destroy them, and then their hearts will be pure.
We do need to kill the rich. I will say that.
Yep. And eat them.
I will go on record as saying that.
Much like a young Francis Dolarhyde killed and ate the Great Red Dragon painting.
Okay, when you say he ate the Red Dragon painting,
Yes.
literally he ate the
Yeah,
painting?
he ate a painting. It's not good for you.
Is this like the guy who ate a Spitfire, but this guy ate a
Nick,
painting?
this is fiction.
Oh. I thought you meant this guy made this painting, which exists.
The painting does exist, but in the fiction of the Red Dragon story, the serial killer Francis Dolarhyde eats the painting.
I see.
Right,
So
right.
So he's not a real person.
No.
It's just that. Okay, all right. So his stomach isn't real. I don't have to worry about how that all worked out. Cool. We can move on.
I think he would have died, I'm going to assume.
I mean, there's that guy who eats Spitfires and
You
cars.
keep saying that and I don't know what you mean.
There's a man who eats metal and glass just as a hobby. He's I think he's a German engineer, maybe? I want to say,
that's how
but
he
he just
learns about
eats
things, because he eats them and gains their knowledge.
instead of being a serial killer who's a psychiatrist and learns about people and all their wants and needs, he's an engineer who learns about all the ins and outs of every vehicle he wants to consume.
Oh, hold up. Monsieur Mangetu.
Is this the guy?
Known for eating unusual objects.
Yes,
Same.
this is the guy! Oh! Yes.
I just
Michel
googled
Lockhart.
man eat Spitfire.
The man who ate an aeroplane piece by piece.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy is legit. He's the real deal, okay? I've known people to eat some weird things in my time, but this guy, right?
What are your
he
top
eats-
5 weird things people you've known have eaten?
Okay, well, this list from Wikipedia lists them all, in fact. So, bicycles, shopping cart, chandeliers, bed, because he may have been lazy one week, skis, and then parentheses, pear, close parentheses, because I needed that. He ate a computer. This fucking guy. Oh my
in
God.
the end credits, the Moriarty brothers are painting a wall.
They are, yes.
Ooh,
And like
what could it
techno
represent?
music is playing.
So is this meant to be them, like, because they keep talking about, like, how Albert wants to live in the world that young Moriarty envisions? Is this meant to be them, like, literally envisioning a nicer world?
I guess so.
Or is it just them, like, having some japes?
This is them.
This is a pretty common occurrence in a lot of anime end credits, where like it's something, no matter what the tone of the actual show is, it's something pretty lighthearted, and also like it might be abstract symbolism or it might just be like some nice looking bullshit.
Right, okay.
It's them either making the flag of the revolution or like headbanging to some dope beats. It's difficult to tell.
There's a post-credit scene.
There is.
Yes. Oh, and in the first episode, the post-credit scene, after they've got a tailor to murder the man who murdered his son, the post-credit scene is Lewis being like, oh, is there anything in the papers? And Moriarty's like, no, absolutely no notices about a rich man getting taken from his carriage and murdered. It's almost like if no one reports on it, it's the perfect crime.
Looks into the camera.
Wait, why is he looking at me?
Because he's committed the perfect crime.
So Albert is like an orphan with such powers of mind and speech. He's so interesting and he's so backlit. And behind him, Lewis is like, should I stab this guy?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Such danger.
Then we abruptly cut to a big burning building and firemen trying to put it out, and they all stumble out of it. And he's like, who are you? I'm Albert James Moriarty, and these, end of episode.
Oh, but who could they be?
Oh my
Who
God,
could they be?
don't
We've already
know.
met them.
We've never seen them before. I thought they burnt down the school when it cut to this.
I thought they burnt down the stables because it had a distinctly stably arches.
I get that.
Yeah, I can see that. I definitely thought they burnt down the home, and this is where I wrote my hidden envelope entry.
Yeah, well,
'Cause
hold on
I
to that
thought
for
the-
now, Nick.
Well, I thought the mystery that we were trying to solve was who burnt down the house.
Yeah, me too.
I didn't even realise there was a house that had burnt down. As I said, I thought it was the school they burnt down for some reason.
Then who burnt down the school, Liam?
Them.
Who burnt down the school?
Them, obviously.
Why would they kill all of their like little revolutionary orphan
I don't
friends?
know. It didn't make any sense to me. That's what I thought they had
fair.
done.
That makes an even bigger mystery. Why would they do this? We don't know.
Start of next episode. More of the chapel conversation.
So they flash back to this conversation a lot, or about Albert being like, he was just really interesting, and that's all that drew me to him.
Yeah.
And I was like, this doesn't make any fucking sense.
We get like
Your syntax is...
6 different shards of this conversation. I'm not entirely sure what the final order was. But now, in the bit we see now, it's Moriarty, or young Moriarty, looking over his shoulder at Albert being like, you're a nobleman. Would you like to help me destroy the class system? And he's like, yeah, all right.
Yeah,
I'd-
he's like, funny you should say that. I've actually been thinking about doing that myself.
Funny you should say that. I've actually been thinking about adopting some orphans. Guys, what did you think in the opening credits of this show of the design of anime Sherlock Holmes and anime Watson?
They were in this?
I'm almost.
Yeah, what?
I am 100% certain that they are the shots of the guy with like a blue ponytail in a black suit and the blonde man in the bowler cap running with him.
Oh.
Purple hair guy.
Sure.
That had not even occurred to me that that's who that
I'm
was.
hundo P certain that's our boy Sherlock.
That makes sense.
I just thought it was some random other guy that we would meet later who's like, oh, my name is Boyhood Charm. Oh, what do you do, Boyhood Charm? It's like, oh, I'm representative of your lost innocence as a child.
Why would that be the case?
Because it's an anime, damn it. It's always going to happen.
You know what I realised, like, literally yesterday?
No.
He's called Dr. House because it sounds like Holmes.
No, it doesn't.
What?
Yeah, it does.
Doesn't sound at all like Dr. Holmes. What are you talking about? You're talking about House starring...
House starring
Hilary.
Hugh Laurie is a Sherlock Holmes loose adaptation.
Yeah.
And it's like House, Holmes, House, Holmes.
Oh, yeah, if you take the L out. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I got it now. I'm with you.
That's interesting, isn't it?
No,
Yeah,
I
it
still got
is.
nothing on that. I still got nothing on that. Holmes House does not sound similar to me.
But like,
No, they don't sound similar, but they're two ways that you could describe the same building.
Oh.
Yeah,
I
Liam
guess.
fucked up with his explanation there.
I see. I see. Yeah, okay. Co-host rise up. We got this. Okay. So a house and
nice.
a home. Yeah. I don't know if they were going for that,
They
though.
absolutely were.
Surely
They definitely
not.
were.
Surely not. He's not the Sherlock Holmes of the medical
No,
science.
explicitly,
Literally,
explicitly, that's what the show is.
yeah, that is literally exactly what he does. He's a medical detective. Yeah, okay, all right.
Also, a drug
With a
addict,
drug addiction.
just like Sherlock
Yeah.
Holmes.
Ah, it all makes sense.
Now
But
you're
the
Sherlock
stories
Holmes.
are so different.
Why did you bring these orphans into my house, darling? I heard the younger one is sick.
He is extremely. And
Yes.
he never gets better? Question mark.
No, he's better as an adult in episode 1, so we can
Oh,
assume
okay, all right.
eventually.
Meanwhile, at the ball, the charitable Duchess is like, "Oh, Lord Moriarty, you are so charitable."
And he's all like,
Yeah, he's like, I didn't only adopt one orphan, I adopted 2 because I'm the best.
And he smirks at his snooty rival.
His wife?
No, there was like some mustachioed douchebag.
Oh, okay.
his snooty rival, his wife.
His wife kind of is his snooty rival, I guess.
I guess so, yeah.
I was like, that makes sense to me.
Yeah, okay, all right.
Lewis is having an unexplained attack in bed one night, but he's like, "It's okay, brother, it'll pass. Just stay here with me."
So he does.
And then the next day, young real William makes young Lewis pour him some tea in like the absolutely most psychotic thing. And in this episode, which features a child murder, this is the most psychotic thing that happens.
Yeah, I'll pay that.
Yep.
So he makes Lewis pour him tea, and then he's like, "You think you can make me tea?" And then he pours it all in the carpet. He's like, "Look what you've done. Clean it up."
With
your
your
tongue.
tongue. It's like, dude.
Yeah. Also, he doesn't even say, "Did you think you could make me tea?" He says, "Pour me a tea," and then he pours it out and says, "Did you think I would drink a tea made by someone from as lower class as you?"
Like, kind of, dog. You asked me to make it.
Yeah, like you explicitly said, "Could you please do this for me?"
He didn't say please.
No, he didn't say.
He definitely didn't say please, no. But he did ask.
He didn't really
would've thought-
ask.
Yeah, that's true. He demanded. That is true. He just demanded, make me a tea that I won't drink. I mean, how could he be surprised that he never drank it when he was
Okay,
so
to be
explicit?
fair, if the demand is veiled as "make me a tea I won't drink," I do that at least 6 times a day because I'm always like, "Make me a tea," and then I forget and it goes cold. I'm like, "Oh well."
Who do you
time for a
stab
new
with
tea.
a fork?
Just myself.
Oh no, just like young Moriarty's about to do.
Yeah.
Because young Moriarty comes in and is like, "I will clean up the tea." He's like, "Oh yeah, well if you're going to do that, then you have to stab your brother with this fork to teach him a lesson." Like, "No, I'll stab myself with the fork to spite you."
Does this please you, real Moriarty, brother?
And then they're back in the room and Alphonse, nope, not Alphonse.
After 20 attempts, we will get this name.
This always
somehow.
happens on this show. You two like say something wrong and it gets stuck in my brain.
We've been saying the right names the whole time.
Not the whole time, to be fair. You did have
Well,
to correct me.
yeah, we're definitely not the whole time. But I mean, most of the time, we say what we think is the right name.
Yeah. Honestly, a higher percentage of the time than normal.
Albert is in the room with them being like, "Hey, sorry about my awful brother." And then like, "All right, great, thanks."
Oh, yeah. And then they're like, "No, you leave so you don't get in trouble." And he's like, "All right, bye."
So it's nighttime and they're all considering their motivations and the brothers are like, what do they want from us? Why do they invite us into the mansion? And Albert is staring at a portrait of his family that he is seeing being overtaken by darkness.
Ooh, like spiders in the mud.
Nope.
Like termites in the sand.
Yeah, right.
Like
I'd
that
pay
one painting in Nancy Drew that Lucy kept showing up in the background of.
Yes. And also like that one painting in Red Dragon that's slowly being eaten.
The stomach acid is pouring over these paintings on the walls. And this one Moriarty guy's like, "Oh, I'm gonna eat him up. That's my life's mission now. Just to eat the rich."
William, you've got to study
Oh,
better.
literally
because...
eating the rich.
Oh, I get it.
doesn't happen
This
in
is
this.
when are we gonna meet the Hannibal Lecter character in this show?
I think we already have.
What?
Moriarty.
Oh, God. No, Moriarty doesn't literally
I mean, he's
eat
not
people,
a
does he?
cannibal, but he's got that intelligent psychopath thing going on.
That's
very
true.
true.
That's true. But I wanted a cannibal.
I
Where's
can't,
my cannibal?
I can't concentrate on my studies when you're raising those 2 lower creatures in my house. What will they do to me?
And then someone, maybe the wife, is like, if only they could get in trouble with the police and then we would have an excuse. Oh, no, she says just get rid of him. And the dad's like, I'm not a fucking psychopath. I'm not going to return the orphans we adopted.
No. He doesn't say, like, I'm not just going to return them. He's like, think of how much trouble that would be. It would put me in such great shame.
He'll
with
lose
the
face
houses,
with charitable duchess.
I'm not some psychopath. I wouldn't just throw these boys on the street if it cost me good standing. Come on now.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
So he's like,
That's
if
truly
only they got
proven.
in trouble with the police. And young William smirks mischievously.
While looking at his fork.
That's just cut into an egg. And he's like...
A delicious omelette.
Yeah. And so all the eggy goodness is like spilling out over his fork and he's like, harumph.
Man, what is it with this guy and forks?
He just likes stabbing people with multi-pronged metal
Tines.
things. Yeah. He's just a big fan of it.
So, Alfbert
Alphabet.
slams his hands on the table and stands up, and all his vision collapses in darkness.
I mean, Alphabet is a good character, but like, this bit really confused me because I was like, is he going to pass out or is he actually just becoming unhinged? And neither of these things happen.
He goes and sees young Moriarty in his room, who is like, "Is this the recompense you shall seek from me, boy?" Yep.
And then Hard
And
cut
then
away
the blood
again.
moon rises.
I knew it. I knew you would say that. I knew you would
I mean,
say
it's
that.
what happens, right?
It's literally what happens.
Everything's bathed in red light because crimes are going to happen. That's how it works in real life.
That's true.
Young William Moriarty, the real one, is sneaking into his parents'... No, has snuck into the boys' room? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But we saw the parents sleeping. Was that just to show that everyone is asleep?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And he's... Again with the forks with this guy. He's got a big bundle of forks and he's going to hide it in the boys' room and then find it there later as if they've stolen it. But they're smart. They're intelligent psychopaths, so they aren't actually asleep. And it's like, aha, we knew you would come. Time to kill
He
you.
drops all of his forks on the floor like a
My
chump.
precious forks.
And he's like, oh no, what will I do now? And Moriarty's like, use a spoon, big boy.
Yeah, have you
So he
seen
grabs a
that
spoon.
that short film, the, what is it, incredibly slow murder with the incredibly inconvenient weapon
Yes. But he's just bashing him with a spoon.
for like 40 years?
Oh, so good.
What?
It's like a short horror film, horror comedy film.
I thought
you
you
never
guys
seen
were
it?
just doing some improv.
No,
Are you
there's
doing
like
some
this
improv?
like ghost demon thing that just hits a guy with a spoon for like 40 years.
Yeah, it's like the extremely... You know, I'm going to look it up again.
They only made like a trailer for this fake film, but then they also did like some other short films based on it because it was really well received.
Wait, they actually did short films?
Or like sketches, I guess.
Oh, wow. The horribly slow murderer with the extremely
Impractical?
inefficient weapon.
It's a spoon.
It's literally just a spoon.
But I digress. So he smashes this chair, and there's a wooden stake of the leg, and it's like, "You gonna kill me with that?" And it's like, "Nah, your real brother is going to."
He wouldn't dare.
And
Quite a twist.
Albert walks in, and William is like, "Brother."
Save me from these psychopath orphans.
I won't. I'm one of the psychopath orphans now too.
That's right. He's one of us. One of
Flashback
us.
to seeking his help in the. This isn't actually a flashback to the chapel. It's a flashback to an entirely separate scene where he's backlit by a window in a heavenly glow.
Yeah, this was just after breakfast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The recompense you seek from me, I will give you my knowledge, but you must provide the courage and kill your brother.
Yes.
He's like,
This seems like a very normal conversation to have after breakfast, yeah?
Yeah.
we're family.
I kind of get it.
we share
I get
blood.
that. I get that the Moriarty needed the buy-in of Albert to be like, no, you did the crime with us.
I guess.
You know what I mean?
I guess so, yeah.
I
I
guess so.
kind of get it.
In for a
He
penny,
needs-
in for a pound, and he has lots of pounds and they have very few pennies.
Yeah, I have no friends, come murder with me. That's kind of the vibe, right? Like, you're with me now. Now
Yeah.
I have a real friend.
What Albert didn't realize is that he was also listening to Moriarty's radicalizing speeches at the Raggedy School.
Oh, no.
So he's like, I hate you guys, hate your society, hate my family, gonna kill you, gonna stab you with this wooden stake. No big deal.
Stabs his brother,
Yep.
but the brother doesn't die, and that's by design.
He's a smart killer.
If he does pull it out, he'll bleed out and die, but they would really prefer he waited around to die in the fire.
I mean, he's
So
going to
the-
die in the fire anyway.
Well, yes, but if there was an autopsy, they wanted it to show that he died with smoke in his lungs, which he wouldn't if he wasn't breathing before the fire.
But wouldn't the hole in his, like, chest also be an indicator that something else happened?
Yeah, but like the whole place collapsed in fire too. So like,
Yeah, so couldn't that just be like a beam had fallen?
like
yeah, possibly,
that happened after the fire, and like it's the 1800s or whatever. So autopsy tech not great, I'm sure.
Leeches. It was just leeches.
Yep. You get a couple of leeches to suck out that big wooden spike in his chest. Sort him right out.
There's a mystery here. All right, grab the leech. Suck. No, it's not showing anything. Damn.
So
We'll never
they
know.
turn on all the gas lanterns, or the gas mains attached to the lanterns, and then they attach a tether or a string to the pendulum of a big grandfather clock on one end and the trigger of a gun on another, and then they go hide in the wine cellar. So that the mansion fills with gas, and then when the clock strikes 3 a.m., the gun fires and then blows up the mansion, and all the rich people die. And their snooty butler, I'm sure, too. And also the various other unnamed servants we saw in the background, who we didn't really get an inkling of their character.
But we're probably innocent victims in all of this.
Well, maybe they were in a servant's quarters.
True.
Away from the house.
Maybe, yeah.
So they survived but are now unemployed.
To be
Which
fair,
is also
though,
not good.
to be fair, when we see the house finally go up, that is a hell of an explosion. Like, I feel like...
Yeah, that's up to 59 minutes worth of gas.
Yeah. That's a lot of death in the surrounding area.
That's true. It was like a small bomb went off. Or a big bomb, even.
A very big bomb, yeah.
And as they're leaving the shaking ruins, Lewis? Is that his name?
Yes?
Yeah.
Yes,
Are you
Lewis.
just questioning everything now?
Yep. It's all falling apart. What's my name? Am I Lewis?
Lewis.
I think you're
Yeah.
Alphabet.
Who has had his mysterious illness cured by an unnamed operation by now, stops and grabs a burning brand and scars his face with it. Because yes, they will never hesitate to believe the word of 3 children when one of them is injured.
Of course.
My recompense to the 2 of you who saved me from my illness. We're all
Then they
accomplices
stand
now.
in the burning building and, do a little, like, quack, 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 quack thing.
Okay,
which
so
is
that's
not-
definitely what it looks like, but I think what it actually is them, like, helping him to his feet.
Oh, okay. I thought it was just all of them being like, let's hold hands and be brothers
Yeah, like
now
in
forever.
the first episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! When they draw a smiley face on their hands and all put them in.
Yep.
They're in this burning house and they're like, guys, hang on, bonding moment, okay? I've got this sweet piece of charcoal. Give me your hands, smiley faces. All right, boys, we need to get up.
Back in the chapel. I'll take that brain of yours and add it to my authority, and together we'll kill all the rich people.
Yay!
Hooray.
And Lewis is here.
Hooray, he's got a knife.
He's waiting for the moment to strike. He has no buy-in, but he's just coming along for the ride anyway.
3 children are emerging from the burning building. Who are you? We can't put this together from context clues.
They
It's
could have been
me.
servants, I guess.
I'm Albert James Moriarty, and these are my brothers William and Lewis. So here's my question, Regan.
Yeah.
Isn't his name normally James Moriarty that's what it was in Sherlock?
Yeah, Jim from IT.
Yeah, so does that mean that, kind of the myth of Moriarty that this show is going to be establishing is going to have Albert as the figurehead?
What do you mean?
So, because he's Albert James Moriarty? Mm-hmm. Does that mean that...
But William's William James Moriarty.
Yeah. Is he?
Which one's the real James Moriarty?
Is he William James?
I'm pretty sure.
Well, then in that case, never mind. Maybe they're all James Moriarty and they'll establish a sort of... You know how... This is the worst reference I've ever made on a podcast. You know how...
Oh, I'm excited.
Here we go.
You know how in Batman comics right now there are 3 individual Jokers?
Are there?
Yeah. And
I would believe
and
it.
they're all
Okay.
the real Joker.
Oh, you're saying there are 3 Moriartys?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
And they're all the Joker.
They're all Danny DeVito as the Penguin.
So we've got these 3
I'm
kids now.
Moriarty. Nice to meet you.
It's just twins, and then there's also some other big name actor in the background being like, I was the real Moriarty all along.
Yeah, it's twins and kindergarten cop.
Twindergarten cop, if you will.
Hooray! We got there.
Oh, beautiful.
And that's how I came to bet on horse races.
Oh, that sounds
my
like you had
God.
a really warm and loving family.
Yeah, great. Anyway, big beautiful shot of the British countryside and a beautiful train steaming through it, and that's the end of these episodes.
How does that explain how he knows what horses to bet on?
Here, I explained it at the very start of that flashback.
I hate it.
I analysed the data.
But it's only right 80% of the time.
That's still pretty good for bets, to be fair.
You could make a living
I
off
need
that.
better. You could make a living. That's more than 50%.
Actually, having worked in a betting call centre for 5 years, I know that people's rates are too high. They often get limited.
Gross.
Really?
Yeah, because, they don't want you to win.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's depressing.
But we're not here to talk about betting and suppressing things. We're here to
And
talk
neither
about...
is Moriarty the Patriot, to be fair.
No, Moriarty's here to talk about bringing down the upper classes.
Is Albert the titular Moriarty the Patriot?
That's where he must be, right?
Or is Moriarty the titular Moriarty the
It
Patriot?
must be Moriarty, right?
Because he sees the beautiful world that he wants the Empire to be.
Yeah.
But Albert Moriarty must be the patriot who is allowing it to happen for the good of the country, right? Like they
but
both
why-
have the same vision, right?
Well, yeah, but it seems weird that...
I think the idea is that they don't have the same vision. Like Albert has he's sunk into the depressing doomlessness of it all. What? The doomed nature of it all. Like, this all sucks. And then he sees beautiful golden backlit Moriarty being like, no, there is a better way. Help me kill your parents.
I feel like that's not so much different visions as the possibility of being able to achieve the same
No,
vision, though.
Albert is just consumed by hate and depression, and Moriarty is the one who can see a way out of it.
Right, so he's the real patriot.
Yeah, I figured it out. Guys, what are your mystery envelopes?
Okay. Do you want to go first, Regan?
Let me grab mine, because Oh, wait, no, I can open it on my computer.
All right, so I'm going to open my mystery envelope.
Oh, love that paper folding.
Here we go. Here we go. I don't know why I did that. That was just a piece of paper. Okay, so basically, I asked myself who burned down the house. Mm-hmm. All I had to go off was that Albert Moriarty was going to kill everyone that he loved, or in this case, hated.
Yeah.
So I wrote down Albert Moriarty, which is wrong.
It's not wrong, it's just not entirely right.
Yeah, because it was actually the grandfather clock that pulled the trigger. So,
I mean... None of us saw that one coming.
I know. It's a real Sherlock moment, you know? You think you got it down, and then out of nowhere, grandfather clock.
Boom.
Bam. And he's there, sitting there with his gun, well, Sherlock, you thought you could best me.
Not in the show yet.
It's me, grandfather clock.
That's a good name for a Batman villain.
That is.
That is a good name. Oh.
Regan?
Yeah?
Mystery envelope?
Oh, my mystery envelope. Sorry. I was off on a thinking about how we're going to work Grandfather Clock into our Netflix series.
Oh, okay.
Episode 2, 18 minutes 48. Alan will adopt Mortuary and Louise. Wow. And Moriarty will kill William and take his place.
Well,
so
you got that 100% right.
And then post-episode, so they set the stables on fire while William is in there, and the parents and the butler, because they all suck, and that's how they can talk about William, and one adopted Lewis.
Oh, that was between the 2 episodes we watched today.
Yes, after
Sorry,
we
when you
saw
said
the...
second episode, I thought you meant the second episode we watched today. It's like, wow, you're writing that really, really late in the piece.
No, I meant episode 2 of the show.
I get you now. Great.
I think we were pretty close. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, not me. I mean, grandfather clock. He's a real piece of work. But
real hard
pretty
bastard.
close. Yeah.
He's a real piece of mechanical clockwork.
He's a real clockhead, you know what I'm saying? Oh.
Okay, so highlights and lowlights.
Well, my highlight was definitely that tiny girl gleefully chanting about killing the rich.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I want to say my highlight would probably have been the moment where it's like they confront William, and he turns around and he drops all of his forks. And I just thought, was this really your plan? Like, oh, I'm going to get them kicked out with forks. And I was like, you got to respect the guy for like leaning into his aesthetic.
Yeah, he'd be a cutlery themed Batman villain.
Exactly. He could be anything he wanted, but he was like, no, it's going to be the fork that takes him down.
My highlight, I think, is the like asynchronous storytelling of the chapel conversation, because I liked how each time it told us just enough to move the next beat of the story along.
Right.
And then also at the same time repeated that one line where it was like, I just think he's neat.
I just
See, that was my low light.
I didn't like that bit of it, but I liked the
Okay.
I liked the sharing the fragments of it. But I think that, they lent on that. Why is he so interesting a bit much?
Yeah, I was going to say, that was my low light of just him going, all I wanted to know was who he was. I liked him a lot. That's all that drew me to him. Also, the radicalization of the children. I liked that. I liked that a lot.
My low light was William with the making Lewis make him the tea. Like, it was just so on the nose. It's like, oh, he's a bad child.
Yeah.
No subtlety.
It's a bit much just to be like, oh, you thought I'd drink this? It's like, yeah.
Frankly, it's a miracle he didn't
tea.
just throw the scalding tea over him.
I was waiting for that.
Why don't
Same.
you drink this tea, Potter?
I was just like, oh, when's he going to throw it back? We got the angle of him with the tea there, and he just goes, huh. And then no, didn't happen.
Pour it all over this delicious carpet.
But then when he's like, lick it up, boy, lick it up good, it's like, oh, God, this is so much worse somehow.
Yeah, because I guess also, like, he can't get in trouble for that, whereas he would get in trouble for scolding an orphan.
Yeah, but surely the mother would walk in and it's like, what have you been doing, burning yourself with tea?
That's very true.
Yeah, he can't get in trouble if he's rich enough. We all know that.
There's no justice in the
That's also
world.
a good point.
Yeah.
Great. Well,
There's no justice in the world. Good drop-off point.
all right. That's the last thing in the run sheet, isn't it?
I think so, yeah. I think it's just goodbye after that.
Yeah. Well, guys, this has been a spectacular crossover. I've had a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Me
it's been
too.
good. Yeah, we should do it again sometime.
If you listen to one of these shows, but not the other, almost said one of my shows, but managed to stop myself.
Wow! God damn it.
This is why we need to unionize.
If you listen to one of these shows, but not the other, they are Jojo's World, a Jojo's Bizarre Adventure recap and discussion podcast, where we are about to start doing a show called Revolutionary Girl Utena, which is about abstract gay sword fights.
And it's going to be incredible.
I'm going to start tuning in.
It's going to be incredible.
We've seen precisely one clip from this show, Regan, and in that there's a very, like, she pulls her sword out of the, like, spiritual body of this woman she's got a lot of sexual tension with. And then there's, like, a sword fight where all these cars start popping out of the ground.
And then they start driving through the cars,
And
but
then their
people are already
headlights,
driving
like,
them.
beam light into the air. None of it makes any sense.
And they're like, I love you. It's like, I love myself. And then it's just something else is happening, and you're like, this is incredible.
Yeah, it was all
And then-
Japanese. We didn't speak any of the language.
Yeah.
And my other show is Mystery Twins Detective Agency, featuring myself and Regan, where we have just wrapped up #Sherlockdown and are moving on to our next little project, which we haven't decided on yet for certain.
No, but we should by the weekend.
Yes.
Do you have ideas?
Yeah.
The
We do.
the certainty of it.
Well, no, we have an entire crime computer that
Yeah, Nick.
solves
that's
crimes.
the computer that we built to think like a detective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That you're going to consult with,
Wait,
and
no,
it's going to be
better
all like,
version of that joke. The computer that we built to think like a detective TV podcaster.
There you go.
amazing.
Okay, and they can be found at jojosworld.podbean.com and mtdapod.podbean.com, or you can tweet at me at Jojo's Podcast or at mtdapod or at Liam S. Smith on Twitter.
I was going to get mad at you, but to be fair, you can't tweet at me with the MTDA pod Twitter because I only get them if Liam sends me a screenshot.
And yeah, I'm not really a person that exists on the internet.
Yeah, Nick's computer that I built to podcast with.
Yeah, Look, the internet is something you can do well at about 80% of the time. So
If you analyze all the data.
yeah, if you analyze all the data.
And that's why I listen to 10,000 Posts, a podcast about posting.
Oh my god, so many podcasts, Liam.
Anyway, this has been cool.
This has been. I don't know how to sign off because I assume we all have different sign-offs.
Yep.
And until next time,
Hooly dooly.
fucking yeah.
Until next time, fuck off.